Hello everybody. It is Monday, May 2nd. I'm in the Indianapolis area. My inTech cargo trailer conversion is for sale. You can find it on eBay in two ways. I have in the link below in the description a link to the listing, or if you simply go to eBay and search inTech cargo trailer conversion, you can find this unit. First of all, inTech is based out of Napanee, Indiana. They only make custom trailers, so you're not going to find a lot of inTech cargo trailers for sale, so they don't mass produce them. So let me go into the specs on the trailer itself. This is a 2020 inTech cargo trailer. I have completely converted it, and I'll get into those details as well. It is 16 foot long by 7 foot tall and by 7.5 feet wide. At the factory, out the door, the dry weight was 2,750 pounds and the tongue weight was 275. As built, the weight is approximately 3,800 pounds and the tongue weight is 400. So on to the factory specs for the trailer itself. You'll see it has, it's been equipped with an 11-foot Dometic manual awning. The trailer is 100% aluminum, and that includes an aluminum skin underneath the trailer. You'll rarely find that. The chassis and the walls are all tube aluminum. Walls and roof 16 on center. It has a white vinyl ceiling. The ground clearance is 16 inches. 2 Dexter torsion axles, 3,500 pounds apiece. It has a 32-inch RV door with a screen door. You'll see the paddle latches in the back, which is a pretty nice touch. And that's for opening up the back door. Couple of windows. Black coin floor. You'll see as I walk through this that it has a rivetless exterior. Couple of Salem vents. I also had them put in 3 runs of airline track so you can fasten down your bikes, motorcycles, or your four-wheeler. Rear stabilizers that are kind of cool. You'll see those as well. I added the front scissor jacks and various lighting upgrades. So let's take a walk around. As you can see, it is a V-nose. This window right here is an egress window. Up here is a hatch, and that's the vent for the air conditioner. We have 5-spoke aluminum alloys. I've added a 30-amp plug down here. And the ladder to go with the rest of the trailer is anodized aluminum. And it started off life as a dock ladder, extensively modified with the help of a buddy of mine. Up top here, you've got, on the left, you've got 2 connections, and that's for a cellular antenna. So you can put one on the roof if you want, and then also a cable outlet. Along the top here, I just want to point out, I have added 3 other orange marker lights here. I want to be seen at night. And it really gets your attention. So in the back door, you see the paddle latches here. Very, very nice option instead of the bar locks. I've got a tail blinker lights down at the bottom. I also added them at the top. I wanted to make sure that if I put my brakes on, people would see it over the roofs of cars and other vehicles. You also see at the top, we got a couple of cargo lights. Here's the curb side. We got a couple of Salem vents. You may have seen one on the other side. We have another window. We have an RV door here. Porch light up top. A fold-out step at the bottom. All right, so let's go inside. Paddle latches. And that's all there is to it. Black coin floor throughout. So the first thing you may notice is that I didn't put any cabinets in. I wasn't sure what I wanted to put where, but that's perhaps a feature or something that the next owner would want to do on their own, which will make it kind of nice. That way they can do it however they want. So you'll see here, I do have a diesel heater in this unit. This is the tank for it. I decided to mount it so that it stays inside. A lot of opinions there about where you want to put the tank. Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. So let me start on this side in the interior. So on the floor, you'll see that's basically just a dryer pedestal. I put that in just temporarily to give me some extra storage. It works out pretty good. This is a fold-down bed with a memory foam trucker mattress. It was not a cheap mattress, but I'm here to tell you it's very comfortable. So these legs fold down to support it on the floor, and it is the mattress is 34 by 76. I should notice, or I should point out also that some of the wood that I used, the floor-to-ceiling panels, that is poplar. So if you wanted to finish that out somehow on your own, you can. You got room for cabinets up top. Right here, I put in for future installation of an AC outlet here in the back, some AC wire, and I used boat wire. It's all tinned copper, 100% copper, and therefore then it's stranded. It's not Romex. Over on this side, that's just an extra mattress that I use for if somebody else is tagging along. And after we get everything emptied out, it works great. Just putting it on the floor. Fire extinguisher. This is the switch for the back cargo lights. And all over the inside, I've got 12 volt outlets. So here's what I call the appliance stack. This is a 12 volt compressor refrigerator. And I'm so thankful that I found this. It works out extremely well. It is a 6 cubic foot unit. I have the air conditioner up top. There is a vent in the roof above it, so it can capture the air and then exit through the hatch that you saw earlier. I do have, although it's covered at the moment, I do have a max air fan. Just cracking these windows and running that fan, you get a ton of air through here. It does have running water. I have a sink in and a faucet, and I'm utilizing a couple of aquatainers. And I should mention that this unit has been extensively field tested. I spent an entire month in the desert of Arizona, where I used the entire trailer, and it worked out really, really well. It does also come with a composting toilet, and then to operate the sink, I'm using what's called a whale pump. And if you see that pump there, there's a big lever, and it's pretty simple. On the downstroke, it pumps out water, and if you let it go, it pumps as well. This is one of my Blue Sea 12 volt fuse blocks. I've got some temporary storage here, and my microwave, I typically transport it there, and then when I get to my site, I put it on top of my refrigerator for use. So I use hospital grade outlets throughout. This particular one operates the air conditioner, and also, as you can see, I did put in a drain vent that goes through the floor and outside. And then this is the outlet I use for the microwave. You've got a lot of storage down below, where you see a couple of those clips. I typically keep food items and whatnot down here, strap them down, and hit the road. This is another AC wire. I had eventually planned on putting in a water heater, so that's already plumbed in. And also, back behind here, I've got a couple of 12 volt lines also for future use, in case you might want to put in an actual pump. That's 12 volt. So, on to the heart of the system. Let me go ahead and list all the things that I put in after the fact. Of course, 12 volt compressor fridge, air conditioner. I have 750 watts in 3 solar panels on the roof. The big green box that you see there is an Ames 2500 watt inverter charger. I have Victron electrics. So the small blue box there is the charge controller, and then I also have a battery monitor. 30 amp shore power connection, and this little black box down here is by Progressive Industries, and this is the line that basically is in the floor that goes from the 30 amp connection outside. So you've got some protection there in case you get to a site. You want to make sure that the power is clean and good. 3 Battleborn 100 amp hour lithium batteries. Let's see, let me go back to the diesel heater here. This thing is really quite something. on startup, if you've ever used one, it'll start up to its max. And during my trip, I had one night where it got down to 10 degrees. And I only had the thermostat up halfway to maintain about a 70-degree temperature on the inside. And once it gets warmed up, the actual temperature of the air coming out of this thing is about 160 degrees. And then I also put in, which is very, very important, I put in a shutoff valve. And on the upside is the tank, and then the other line is coming down through the filter and then feeding the diesel heater from underneath. So here's our RV door. It does have a window there. I've got a cover that snaps into place, and that all works pretty well. On the AC side, this is your breaker box, basically. This is also a Blue Sea unit. It's very small, compact. I didn't want to put in one of them big gray boxes from the hardware store. Just didn't want to do it. But you can see that I've put in I put in 2 extra breakers at the bottom. So for future use, for example, the water heater, the other one's blank. So from the inverter, it feeds this breaker box here. And the very first outlet that it comes to is this GFCI right here. And on the 12-volt side, we do have a couple of outlets there for you. USB, and the other one's a standard 12-volt. All right. Over to some of the, basically the primary 12-volt center. I decided to put in, this is actually an outdoor box, but I'm glad I did it this way because there's lots of room in there. Number one, for the switch panel that I put in. And as you can see, the first two, I have 2 lights in the rear, and then there's 2 in the front here above me. I'll just show that, and you can pause it at any point in time if you want to see some more. So over here is the control to turn on the Ames inverter. It has 2 positions, either to charge the battery, and the bottom is to feed power and AC power to the trailer. I also then have a Victron battery monitor. So, next we have the DVR. We have 4 cameras, one pointing in each direction on the trailer. I'll go ahead and turn that on so it can get going. That's a cradle for an old XM radio that I have. I will be keeping that, so this will come down. But do know that there is an XM radio antenna also on the roof. So if you want to put in your own XM radio here, you can. So inside, got a couple of remotes up there. This is my switch plate. And this is the primary Blue Sea 12-volt. And most of the wires are marked. And some of them, a couple of them, I put in a little extra wire. And that's for the following reason. I know there's a lot of wires here, but if you put in cabinets, you'll be able to cover all this up. I didn't want to cut any of the wires short. So here's the DVR here. The DVR itself does hold two 256 gigabyte SD cards. And then down here, underneath the box, I've attached and I put in a Sony marine head unit. And down below here, a little Rockville subwoofer. It's designed to go underneath the seat of a car, but it does a pretty good job. And I'll get a shot of the ceiling here. We've got two speakers there. And then two more in the front. I also have a combination smoke and carbon monoxide detector installed. Window coverings, those are strictly temporary, but they are blackouts. So they're held at the top just with some Velcro tabs. There are three AC outlets that I put in. One of them, the second one is on the side of the 12 volt box in there. And then this is the one for the outside. A company by the name of Carr makes these nice aluminum grab handles. And folks, that's about it. Countless hours invested. All it needs, if you choose, is your cabinetry and whatever other customization features that you want. The last thing I'll touch on here is I have had side by side two motorcycles in here, and there is enough room in there for a Harley Davidson, and there's plenty of width for a four-wheeler. All right, so again, in the description below, you'll see a link to the eBay listing. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them down below. And again, it's currently May 2nd. The listing goes until May 12th. And then we'll see where it goes from there. And that's it.